All right. Hello, everybody. Chief Meteorologist Hunter Williams here. Time is coming up on 9:13 in the evening on this Thursday. Wanted to go live ahead of our 10 o'clock newscast and just do kind of a digital update on our forecast for tomorrow, which does include the risk for some severe weather, potentially 2 different rounds of rain and storms now in our forecast. We'll go through the latest model data coming up here in a moment. And just ahead of time, I want to tell you, hail is the main threat that we're watching tomorrow. And with that being said, let's get into things. So we'll start with kind of what's going on right now. There has not really been anything here across our KVUE area today. We had a very low end severe weather risk, but we talked about the cap yesterday, and that cap did in fact hold today. So the pink, as you can see, is a severe thunderstorm watch, which includes parts of north central Texas, then up into North Texas. There have been a number of tornado warnings and still some active severe thunderstorm warnings up around the Dallas area. But also wanted to back out, well, actually zoomed in. This is the severe weather outlook for tomorrow. Then I'll back out and show you what I meant to say. This is the severe weather outlook for tomorrow. We have the level 2 slight risk for most of our KVUE area. This includes the metro and the I-35 corridor. Level 1 risk across the hill country. Large hail is the main concern. But again, there is the threat for strong winds and maybe an isolated tornado. Also potentially some locally heavy rain and minor flooding. Okay, this is the broader view that I wanted to show you. Look at this. We have either a severe thunderstorm watch or a tornado watch spanning, I believe, over 1,000 miles. Let me measure this for you real quick. From near Dallas all the way into Ohio and Pennsylvania. Yeah, over 1,000 miles. Pretty remarkable. Big swath of severe weather. We have a big upper level system which is kind of parked out west. That's going to kind of funnel several weaker systems our way, and we've got a cold front. So all this boils down to we have several days of rain and storm chances in our forecast. Okay, back here at home. This is our hail outlook for tomorrow. Again, this is our main concern. In the yellow area with the black stripes, that's what we call the hatched area. When the Storm Prediction Center outlines a hatched area for hail, that means that significant hail is possible. That would be 2 inches in diameter or greater. So there is that potential over parts of our KVUE area for tomorrow to have some pretty big hail, unfortunately. The last thing that any of us want to deal with. Let's go to the latest model data. So I'll be honest with you guys, man, this has been a fluid forecast, just kind of really tricky to pin down when exactly these individual rounds of rain and storms will move through. Here's the latest thinking. This is 8 a.m. tomorrow morning, in the morning tomorrow. Between about 5 a.m. and 9 a.m., we will have this initial round of rain and storms that moves through. So I do expect a pretty good bit of wet weather tomorrow. The severe weather threat in the morning, it's not a huge severe weather threat, but I do think we could have maybe 1 or 2 pockets of hail in there. So I can't completely rule out a severe thunderstorm warning or 2 in the morning. Then we'll get a little bit of a lull for the late morning into the afternoon. But then late afternoon into the evening, we could have more storms bubble up. Now, originally, we thought that this would be when we had the most widespread coverage of rain and storms, but now it may actually end up where most people see the rain earlier in the day, and then it's kind of scattered hit or miss strong storms as we go later into the day. 5 o'clock, we could have strong to severe storms bubbling up southeast of Austin, perhaps impacting places like Luling into southern Bastrop County, into Fayette County. And then as we keep going later into the evening, 7:30, there could be new storms developing across the hill country, moving eastward. But as you can see, the new model data has shown that most of this stormy weather could stay just south of our KVUE area for the afternoon and evening on Friday. It all depends on where a cold front stalls out. It's going to be moving into our area, stalling. If it's right over us, then we get a higher storm chance. If it's just down to our south, well, then the storms kind of ride along that and miss us just down to the south. Here's 12:30. We keep going Friday night into Saturday morning, more rain and storms, and that's going to continue Saturday afternoon into Saturday evening. The severe weather threat on Saturday is looking lower, but there could still be some pockets of perhaps locally heavy rain, so our rain chance is still about 70% as we go to Saturday as well. Severe weather threats for Friday. Large hail is going to be the main concern. There could also be strong winds. There's a low but not a 0 chance for an isolated tornado. Flooding, that's also in the low category. I don't expect widespread flooding, and really many of our areas still need rain, especially across the hill country, but there could be some locally heavy rain in spots. So here's the weekend forecast. There's a 70% chance for rain and storms on Saturday. There's a 60% rain chance on Sunday. 69 for the high Saturday, 72 on Sunday. Saturday, could a few storms still be strong? Yes. Sunday, I don't see big severe weather potential right now. I think it's going to be mainly just rain showers. Let's talk flood potential and how much rain to expect. Friday, we have the level 2 slight risk for flooding. Saturday, we also have the level 2 slight risk for flooding. Sunday, not currently outlined in any flood risk, although I could see the Weather Prediction Center adding us into maybe a level 1 risk even into Sunday. These are the updated 7-day rainfall totals. So this is not all going to happen all at once. It's not going to be just in one day. This is going to be mainly over the weekend, but between now and Monday, early next week, that's going to be when most of this falls. Anywhere from an inch to as much as 3 inches. The trend that we've seen in the data, though, is that the heavier totals have shifted southward a little bit, and that's because the guidance is starting to indicate that maybe that front gets hung up a little farther south than what we thought earlier, so that kind of drags the higher rain and storm chances down to the south as well. So, with that being said, here's the 7-day forecast. Tomorrow, we're still going to say a 70% chance for rain and storms, but it may end up that many of us see rain more so in the morning rather than the afternoon and evening. But any of the storms that develop in the evening, that's going to be when we have the bigger potential for large hail. A 70% rain chance on Saturday. Severe weather threat is lower, but again, some locally heavy rain is still possible. Sunday, a 60% chance for showers. Next week is drier, but not completely dry. A 10% mainly dry Monday, but then a 20% rain chance Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday of next week. Kind of broad brush rain chances there. I do think at some point around the middle or end of next week, we'll get back into some higher chances for rain. So that is an update. Got things pulled up here. If you guys have any questions, let me know. I'll go through things one more time real quick, and then we'll finish getting ready for our newscast at 10 o'clock. I guess I should silence the notifications on my phone. We'll start here with the radar. Again, there's nothing going on locally, but it has been busy across North Texas. Let's go up there. The pink is a severe thunderstorm watch. And then the yellow from around Texarkana, that is a tornado watch. And then this kind of darker yellow gold color, that is a severe thunderstorm warning over far north Texas. All of that stuff obviously moving northeast away from us. Here is our severe weather risk for tomorrow. We have the level 2 for most of our area. That is the slight risk, level 2 out of 5. Large hail, the main concern. Strong winds, an isolated tornado, also not out of the question. So wanted to show you kind of a different view of things for the threat breakdown. Here it is. The tornado threat is low, as you can see, but it's not zero. The hail threat is concern number 1. It's elevated, and it's also hatched, which means that there could be some significant hail 2 inches or more in diameter. And then area-wide, we have a low risk for strong winds tomorrow as well. Here's a closer look at that hail risk, which does include most of our KVUE area, and the hatched risk. Okay, let's go into our models. Again, the forecast has changed a little bit with when we expect most of the weather. Looking at the Facebook comments, I see we have some questions rolling in. Melissa says, hey Hunter, half marathon Saturday morning at 8 a.m. What's the chances of the weather being severe enough to cause issues with that? I think it'll be okay. We'll get into that here in a second. And by the way, good luck. Here is 8 a.m. Friday, not Saturday, Friday, where we have pretty widespread rain and storms around. And again, you see some of those reds and purple colors there. Some of these storms could be strong. I'm leaning towards there not being many severe issues in the morning, but I do think there could be maybe 1 or 2 pockets of hail that gets up to quarter size or a little bit bigger than that. So not out of the question that there's a T-storm warning or 2 in the morning, but I do think we'll have a pretty good bit of rain around. Let's keep going. We get a little bit of a break late morning into the early, even mid-afternoon, and then late afternoon, we have more rain and storms develop. Here's 4:30, but compared to earlier model runs, now the guidance is showing that maybe the heaviest storm activity for the second half of the day kind of grazes our southern counties, but largely misses a good chunk of our KVUE area. Then we get another little round coming in overnight. We'll have more rain through the day on Saturday into Saturday evening, but it's going to be waves of rain. It's not going to be raining constantly, but we're going to have multiple rounds of rain and storms that move through. Large hail, that is concern number 1. Damaging winds low. Isolated tornado threat even lower than that, but it's not zero. And then the flooding threat, it's also something that we're watching with a threat for some locally heavy rain. Rain chance is 70% on Saturday and 60% on Sunday. This is the flood outlook. Level 2 for both Friday and Saturday, so I don't expect widespread flooding issues. And remember, across the hill country especially, we really need this rain. Hopefully this can help with our drought conditions a little bit, but level 2 flood risk Friday and Saturday. A few different kind of model projections here. This is our high-res model with the rain that we see through Saturday morning, and unfortunately this has really come down where there's going to be some pockets. If you get under a heavy storm, it could be a quick half-inch or more of rain, but things have kind of backed off, trending less aggressive with the rain for Friday. But remember, that's just one of the days where we expect the possibility of rain. Still, the 7-day rainfall projections from the Weather Prediction Center still pretty aggressive with anywhere from 1 to 3 inches of rain. The higher totals that will be in the 1.5 to 3 inch range. Those are likely going to be for the southern tier of our area, closer to where that front stalls out. So here's the 7-day forecast. Oh, by the way, Melissa, I'm sorry, I was going to go slowly through Saturday morning so we can talk about the marathon. I completely forgot. Before I go to the 7-day, let's do that one more time. Okay, so let's stop here at 8 a.m. Saturday morning. That's looking pretty good for you, Melissa. Looks like we'll be in a little bit of a dry lull for 8 a.m., 9. By the later morning hours, I think we'll start to see some more rain develop, and then especially into the afternoon and evening. So hope that helps you, Melissa. Good luck with your race. And here's the 7-day forecast. 70% tomorrow. A few storms could be severe. 70% Saturday, 60% Sunday. Next week, things are looking a little bit drier. So that is an update. Thank you guys for joining us on Facebook and KVUE Plus and YouTube and all of our streaming sites. We're going to take a quick break for about 36 minutes, and then we'll do our full newscast at 10 o'clock coming up on KVUE. Hopefully you can tune in. Grace will be in with your forecast tomorrow morning. We'll have updates as needed over the next several days. Have a good night.